guys, we're not there yet. Let me just roll through the episode. I really just want to skip to the end and just talk about that the whole video, but I'm not going to do that because there were some other pivotal points in the episode, but you know, I don't really care that much. But if you guys hear like noise, I have family who's acting up. They won't be quiet. And if you guys hear like frying, that's because, you know, I'm in a different, because as you guys can see, I'm in a different position, in a different area, and I'm closer to the kitchen, and we're like making some food. So if you guys hear some noises, that's what it is. Okay, so I have notes because this is the mid-season finale, and I wanted to be organized, and I expected things of this episode. So let's get into this episode. So, this episode, oh, you guys like my Christmas sweater? I wore it in honor of us finally having a Scandal Christmas episode. I was like, after I finished the episode, I was reluctant to put it on because of things, but I mean, this is our first Christmas episode, so you know, I just threw it over top of the outfit I had on for the day, so if you guys like it, yeah, my grandma Christmas sweater. But anyway, so it starts off with like a picture of Olivia cooing over an ornament. Well, we know she could care less about Christmas ornaments and things like that, and then it shows her like with kids, and it also shows a picture of her like with a fluffy dog in the Truman balcony. It just like had fakeness written all over it. I was like, oh man, no. When I saw her doing FLOTUS duties, or yeah, just FLOTUS duties, because, or FGOTUS duties, I don't even know if like the girlfriend of the United States, whatever, those type of duties, I was like, this cannot last for long because she doesn't want to do them, and she doesn't look like she wants to do them. And then when they're at like the first little, like, okay, so then it cuts to like Olivia's looking in the closet, and she has all these new first lady clothes and all this red and all this jewelry and all these watches, and I was just like, ew, no. And then she's just staring at it, just like probably thinking, oh, I hate this. And then Fitz walks in, and he's like, oh, I like that one. And he points to like a dress, and then he's like talking about what needing to get like a bill passed or something like that. And then she picks the dress that he likes, and I'm just like, what is this? I like that one, like. But so she puts on the red dress, and I don't really like red on her character because we know Red is a very Melly character. Melly wears a lot of red, but I guess because this is a Christmas episode, she wore a lot of red. I don't know if they did it as like trying to compare Melly and Olivia, or if they just did it because it's the Christmas episode and red is a Christmas color. I'm not really sure, but hey. So they were at the little party or whatever, and she was talking to this lady, and then we have like in the background Liz and Abby are talking, and Liz is like telling Abby that this isn't going to last for long, and I'm like, shouldn't Abby know this? Aren't they supposed to be like best friends? You should know your best friend is uncomfortable doing these things. You should know your best friend enough. But I mean, it was a small thing, but it was kind of like, what? Like, they're supposed to be best friends, so Liz shouldn't have to tell her this. So then she's talking to, I can't tell you the name of the lady because I wasn't really tripping off of what was really going on with his case and stuff. But so they were basically talking, and the lady was like, I need your help on something. And so Olivia's like, oh yeah, this is going to be like a case for me or whatever, something good. And the lady tells her that she needs a cookie recipe. And then Olivia was like, a cookie? And it's just like, yeah, you know, I had a cookie here, and it tasted so good. Could you get that for me? And I'm just like, really? A cookie? So she's looking at Fitz, and like she keeps looking at Fitz, and he's talking with the boys or whatever about whatever, and he's laughing about it. And you can kind of tell like she would rather be over there talking with the boys about some stuff than be like doing all this mushy, fluffy cookie talk. So then we cut to Melly. She walks into like this the office, one of the senator's offices, and they're having like this little get together, and they're drinking or whatever. And so she comes in, she's the only lady in there, and she's talking about Planned Parenthood. And I know that the showrunner kind of took it off the headlines because there was a big story about Planned Parenthood like a few weeks ago about funding for it and stuff. So she's talking about Planned Parenthood, and the men are not really, they don't really care about it. He's like, the bill's getting passed, and she's like, well, she's basically telling him you're not really thinking of the negatives that could come from the bill being passed or whatever. And then he's like, well, Melly, we don't need you to get this bill passed. And I thought that was kind of funny because it kind of was like a eye-opener. Like, she was kind of shocked. Like, she thought she was, like, important to him or important to them. But he's just like, I can get it passed either way. And then so she looks like defeated or whatever. And then we cut to like another Olivia and Fitz scene. He's talking about duties that need to be done to get the bill passed, whatever. And she goes, I know the schedule. You don't have to tell me. I have a brain. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, she has an attitude. But I mean, of course she has an attitude. Like, Fitz moved her out of her place and put her into the White House without asking her because because he was mad, and because he felt that keeping her close would, I guess, bring them closer, although it was against her will. I don't understand exactly where his character was coming from with that, but I know that he was hurt by what she did, so he was like acting out. And then last episode, I thought it was kind of like punishment for her, and she brought that up later on. And so then he's talking about the bill, and she goes, crappy bill. And then he's like, what did you say? And she's like, nothing. And then Fitz doesn't care. Like, he can tell that she's unhappy, and I think he even goes, I know you don't like it, but something. He doesn't care that she is unhappy with it. And my thing with Fitz is, you claim you want to be with her, but you want to be with her and it be like tension and she be unhappy and pissy all the time. So what's the point of being together when you're not really together? You just live together. That's basically what you and Melly were doing. Like, I thought you didn't want them, but you know, I don't know. And then so but yeah, that was one thing I didn't like about Fitz's episode, is that he didn't care. It's not like he didn't know how she felt. He knew how she felt about it and still went on about his business. And I was like, what? Like, I can't, like, it was, I didn't like it at all. Like, Fitz was irritating me. He wasn't the only person that irritated me this episode, though, but we'll get to that later. And so we go to Quinn calling Huck, trying to see where he is. And then Marcus comes in and he has a present, and then Quinn is like, gladiators don't celebrate Christmas, or whatever she was saying. And then we cut to David and Liz, and apparently they just got through with something. I'm glad they didn't show us because it's disgusting, and I know a lot of us hate seeing Liz and David. They just don't go together. Like, I think I probably like, I'm not even gonna, whatever. And then so David has a present, and it's like this bracelet. It's like a little cute bracelet, and you know Liz is she's so disrespectful. So she's going like, it's the lamest something, and then David is like kind of hurt because I don't know why he's head over heels. Like, because they didn't show us anything that would justify David being head over heels for Lizzie this quick. Like, is it just the sex, the quick like 6-minute sex times that they've been having? What, they had like three of them, like 4, like, ew, like, David, you're easy. Like, and Liz is gross. Like, okay. But, so, then we cut to Melly's. She puts her foot down. She comes in. She's trying to be a senator with the whole Planned Parenthood thing. And I was like, you know what? You go, Melly. Like, you know, you guys know I don't like Melly. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I wasn't proud of Melly actually trying to do something for herself this episode, because what we've seen in the past is that Melly lets other people do things for her. She steps on the backs of others. But this episode, she actually had a filibuster. She stood there for like a while, like a long time, all tired and sleepy and stuff, trying to make sure that the bill, it didn't get passed that he was trying to pass, because he was overlooking like benefits for women and healthcare and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, I appreciated that part of Melly this episode. It doesn't mean I fully like her, but she did good when it came to that. So then we have Huck and Papa, and Huck bought Papa some fast food, and he's eating, and then Papa can never just sit there and be quiet. So he's like, I'm choosing kindness because there's a bigger bad guy. I'm a bad guy, but I'm choosing kindness. I'm choosing to be kind to you. And he calls Huck his son. Papa has this thing with all of the B613 men. He calls them his sons. And they actually kind of see him as like a father figure. Like Huck has never said it, but Jake and Russell have said it before. So he goes, "You are no one's father. I am not your son." So I'm like, finally somebody said it, because I'm getting sick of him saying these grown men are his sons. Like especially Jake, because Jake has slept with Olivia, and that has some low-key incestual vibes to it that I don't like. But yeah. So then we cut to Fitz, Cyrus, and Abby, and they're talking about Melly's filibuster and how she can possibly cause a government shutdown. And Fitz is like, what is she doing? She's just being irrational. She's being stupid. And then Abby suggests calling Liv in on it, but he says she's busy. And I laughed at this because Olivia, first of all, Olivia's never too busy to do something she wants to do, and she will want to do that. And second of all, come on, she's busy. You're just like trying to keep her confined. You're trying to keep keep tabs on her, trying to make sure you watch her so she doesn't do anything that you don't approve of, or so you guys can be together but she can be snappy and unhappy. But that was pretty funny. And so then we have Tom and Russell, and I was so glad Tom didn't die. When I saw him walk out, I was like, oh yeah, he was faking. Last episode when Jake thought that he was dead, I was like, yes, because you guys know I like Tom. And so Jake was watching him in the car, and I'm just like, oh Jake, Jake. And then so we cut back to Huck and Papa, and Huck said some pretty savage things, like right here in this episode. Huck, I don't even know how to feel about it. It's like, I'm happy he kind of stood up to Papa, because Papa was like going too far, talking about his son and his family. But then some of the things he was saying, I was like, ugh. But they weren't 100% lies. So, but anyway, he was saying things like, it would hurt if someone said those things about my son. When he was talking about how the media was tearing Olivia apart before, calling her a whore and a prostitute and all these things, and how and saying that she was sleeping to, her way to the top, whatever. And then he was like, do you think she loves him, or she deals with him because she's trying to be spiteful to you because she knows she doesn't like it? It was something like that. But I remember definitely the part of, do you think she loves him? And that's when I was like, oh, that's when I kind of like went on red alert, because I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. I was like, of course she loves him. But then, I'm always in doubt when it comes, like nowadays I'm always in doubt when it comes to them, like especially with this episode, like, but again, I'll get to that a little bit later. And so he's like, this is when he got real savage. He was like, which white boy do you prefer the most inside of her? I was like, whoa. I was like, Huck, you need to chill. I was like, he needs to chill. Like, and then Papa was just sitting there like, oh my God, like, the look that Papa had on his face is probably the same look I had on my face, minus the tears, because I wasn't tearing up, but it was similar. I was just like, oh. I was like, oh. Like, this is not it, like, this is not expected from Huck. It, like, surprised me, And then then he goes, you know, I'm doing good with my son. My son is going to grow up to be a great man. I'm doing good by him by not being in his life. And then he's like, you failed as a father with Olivia. And I'm just like, Huck is serving some real shade right now. Like, so it hurt Papa's feelings. And this is kind of like, have we ever seen Papa really hurt? Like, his feelings really hurt? Oh, maybe when Olivia pulled the trigger, his feelings were hurt then. And I can't remember any other time. But this hurt his feelings a lot. And I was like, oh, I'm glad somebody finally got to Papa. Then we have Fitz and Liv watching TV, like watching Melly. And then Fitz is thinking that Melly's doing it because she's trying to get back at him. This is just being a butthole. Like, this was a butthole, this episode. Like, you know, I hardly, if I ever, but he was a butthole. I'm like, okay, I'm not on Melly's side at all. Like, you guys know I don't like Melly's character, but I can say that Melly was not, I don't think Melly was doing that because she wanted to get to him. I think she really felt that the bill was taking away some of women's rights, and she felt that she wanted to do something about it. You guys know I never defend Melly, or I've defended her maybe, I could probably count on one hand the times I have defended Melly for something. But like, this is one of the times, because Melly was actually trying to do something, because she actually like felt for it. It wasn't like, it didn't have any underlying agenda or anything. She just really felt that women should have these rights. And I was just like, Fitz, like, I gave him the side. I was like, stop. Like, you're not doing good this episode. Like, stop. So I don't know if Liv said anything to him about him thinking that it was about Melly in that scene. I'm not really sure. But so then we have Liv wanting to help Melly, and then this is when I got an epiphany, you guys. The second half of this season is probably going to be Liv helping Melly. And oh my god, I know while a lot of people are probably yelling, girl power, like, yeah, Melivia. For the sake of this episode and what Melly was trying to do, I don't 100% hate that Liv was helping her, or helped her, but in the future, I kind of do 100% hate that Liv will be helping her. Because, okay, we got Melly actually standing on her own feet doing something this episode, and I was like, finally, like, she's doing something for herself. To only turn around and use the help of somebody else. I mean, everybody needs help, but Melly uses people, like, and then will this be a Fitz against Melly and Olivia type second half of the season? So, then we have Susan and David exchanging gifts, and Susan buys him like it was a drink. I don't know what it was. And then David gives her the bracelet that he originally bought for Liz. And I was like, no, David, wrong move. Because I only say wrong move because I feel like he's leading Susan on and he's not really attracted to her. And even if he did have a relationship with her now, it would be like as a second option. Like sort of like a second choice because Liz kind of dissed him. But you know, David's stupid. So he might run back to Liz. I'm not sure. We'll just see how that plays out. But, so she was really happy about the bracelet and she was looking at him with dove eyes, and I was just like, no, I don't think I want them together either. It's something about David that I don't like, because I don't really like David and Abby together either. I think it's David. But no, it's not just David, because it's Liz too. I like Susan though, but I don't know. I just, ugh. But, so, then we have Melly is about to piss on herself, and she's sitting there trying to stand up, trying to stay awake, and she has her shoes off, and she's just talking about a whole bunch of stuff that they don't care about. And then so Fitz and Cyrus are watching like, what in the world? Like, Fitz is like, she is crazy. Like, why won't she stop? And then Cyrus is like, just let it ride, because it's gonna blow up in her face. Because that's what usually happens when Melly tries to do something, right? It blows up in her face. I mean, I can't even sit up here and lie and say I didn't expect this to blow up Melly's face where she didn't win, because that's what history has shown. But so Liz calls Susan Ross in to help Liv, and as soon as Susan walked in, I was like, oh, Liv called Susan because she can't physically be here herself or like show that she's helping Melly. And then Susan walks in and she takes the chair because she is the president of the Senate, because she's the vice president. So Melly's like, yes. So she gets to have a break or whatever. She goes to the restroom and Liv is there. And you know, Melly's like, thank you or whatever. I was actually surprised at the words thank you that came out of Melly's mouth. Because I was like, Melly said thank you. She must really be appreciative of this. And so Liv is like, you know, Melly's talking about how she wants to quit. She said, I don't even know what I got myself into. So I'm a Republican. I don't know. This is too much. And then Liv is like, you're the biggest B I know. Like, I know that you can keep up with this. Like, I know that you can run with the big dogs or whatever. And then so they're like vabbing over their hoism. It's like, no, I'm just playing. Y'all know others over the story. She was like, we was vabbing over our hoism or whatever. But I digress, sorry. But yeah, so they were just sitting there, and then Melly leaves, and then Liv is like, yeah, I can't come in there with you because I'm busy. And then Melly's like, oh yeah, that boring party or something like that. And then I'm just like, this scene didn't annoy me like Melly and Liv scenes usually do. I liked it, and then I didn't like it at the same time. I didn't like it because I feel like it's foreshadowing to like an alliance between them that, like I said, I don't want. But then I liked it because, first of all, Melly said thank you, which it seemed like a sincere thank you. And then second of all, it was something that they both felt strongly in, not because they had an agenda. You know, we're working together to get something done that that women should be able to have. So Liv is late for the dinner, and Fitz is trying to stall basically because he's trying to wait till she gets there, and then he goes and the waiter tells him that they need to start now because the meals won't be synchronized. And then so Fitz starts without her. So Melly closes the Senate floor as a winner, and this is where I was like kind of surprised. I was like, oh, she wins. I was like, isn't she having a nice Christmas? Because Elitzers sure aren't, but again, that's not for now. And then so I was like, you know, she worked for something she wanted. Even though she did have help by Olivia, she did filibuster all by herself. I guess that's development in itself. I'm not sure if she'll keep that development because, come on, we're talking about Melly, but it was nice. So basically we have Olivia in like this waiting room type. I knew it was some type of waiting room, but I didn't think it was a hospital waiting room. I don't know until the nurse came out. Somebody clarify this scene for me, because I literally jumped up and was like freaking out. And I was like, this better not be what it looks like. When she spread her legs, and the lady got the little tool and pushed the little button, but somebody, you guys clarify this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right. She was getting an abortion. They did not stick on this for very long, which kind of irritated me because I'm sure I wasn't the only person who was confused for a minute. Because at first I was like, oh shoot, she's pregnant. She's trying to check to make sure, to try to see she's trying to see if she's pregnant for real. That's the first thing I said, because I put it completely past Olivia to get an abortion and not just to get an abortion and not tell Fitz that she was pregnant in the first place. But why do I put anything past these characters? So, but then when she puts the button on the machine thing, and then afterwards when Olivia was looking for the hooch and she was drinking, I was like, that was an abortion. You guys, you should have seen me at this scene because I was acting a fool. Because I was like, no, they didn't write in an abortion scene just this quick. Like, really? This quick? Isn't Olivia supposed to be on some type of birth control? So I assumed she was on some type of birth control. What was that? Who else? Russell didn't do much this episode. He made a small appearance. I guess he can go. Nah, no, he doesn't go on my nice list. Nah, because he was B613, so he doesn't go on my nice list. Susan. Yes, I'm Team Susan. 100%. Until she does something stupid. The only people with their hands clean in this whole show are Susan. If we're talking about not killing anybody, then it would be like Susan, David, Abby. But if we're talking about like not doing anything spiteful, then it would be Susan. That's all. On my naughty list, I have Liz. She's playing David. I don't care for David, but don't try to act like you're hurt when you see the bracelet on another woman. Like, no, that's stupid. Then, what's on my naughty list for this episode? Oh, Papa, because, Papa claims that he cares when he's facing death. Like, when death is staring him in his eyes, when Satan is staring him in his eyes, he claims that he cares. But, you know, I can tell you I can give so many times that he was a bad father and a bad man, so I don't want to hear it. Who else? Jake. I kind of felt that his presence in this episode was pretty useless. Like, we didn't need it. He didn't do anything really big. Him killing Russell wasn't big. Russell wasn't a big character. Nobody cares if Russell dies, so it wasn't big when he killed him. So, Melly. Let me get on Melly, because I enjoyed her this episode, which I never say, but I still don't like Melly, but I'm doing it for the sake of this episode. For the sake of this episode, she goes on my nice list. Who else? Oh, Cyrus. We didn't really see much of Cyrus, but I'm putting him on the naughty list because Abby, you guys know I still hold a grudge against Abby because she didn't tell Liv who leaked the photos, but maybe I should get over that grudge. So for the sake of this episode, I'll say that Abby was in the nice list. Now let's get into the two bumbling idiots themselves, Liv and Fitz. Olivia and Fitzgerald both go on, I want to say they both go on my naughty list, but then I like some of the things. I like them talk, like finally communicating with each other, although it was really picky. But because that was the only thing I really liked about them this episode, I think they have to go on my naughty list. Guys, let me step out of that. Let me step out of me just wanting let's to be together and how they actually acted as individuals this episode. Fitz goes on the naughty list for sure because he was in the absolute butthole. But she goes on the naughty list. I don't care, guys. They both go on the naughty list. So I'll see you guys in my next video and have a great holiday.